I called it the ultimate sales call, and it just basically gives a structure from pre-call to the end of the call and everything in between. Ideally, what people are looking for is pre-call preparation. So you don't just jump onto the phone with a phone number. Maybe you do a bit of research. You check their website. You check their what it says about them on Google or their Facebook page or whatever it might well be. The more background information that you've got and the more background information that you've saved, you can then follow. It just gives you some knowledge, and as we all know, knowledge is power. So a good bit of pre-call preparation. If you've got a customer relationship management process, some sort of CRM, keeping all that information in there, stuff that comes up in conversation, even stuff that you can reflect back on. There's something that I call conversational offers. And a conversational offer might be something along the lines of, I need to sort this out because I'm going to my daughter's wedding on Saturday, or I'm going on holiday, or I'm going to a gig tonight. God, remember those days? So get this gives you a bit of a that pre-call that sorry conversational offer. What that allows you to do is reflect back on it later on in the call, maybe even at the end of the call. Thanks very much. It's been lovely talking to you. Have a great time at your daughter's wedding. Now that sounds fairly minor, but just imagine what it would be like if you came back a month's time and you spoke to him in a month's time or so, and you actually were able to say, you've got blah blah blah. It was lovely chatting to you the last time I spoke. How was your daughter's wedding? For you to remember that is actually gold, and it's a massive rapport build. Having that stuff up your sleeve as part of your pre-call preparation is huge. So try and think about that. What are you doing before you pick that phone up? You then pick the phone up, then you get an I.F.A, and I know some of you are going, oh, I know what an I.F.A is, but what it is actually introduction, framework, and the agenda. So you're introducing yourself, you're finding out who you're talking to, you're telling them what's going to happen over the length of the call, and then the agenda. What I'd like to do today is ask you some questions, blah blah blah. Now this works with large organisations and even individual people, whether you're somebody in your team sitting in a call centre, or whether you're picking the phone up yourself, like to speak to somebody who might need some of your services. This call structure works with any type of call at all. The next question, you'll all notice questioning skills. So what about your needs analysis? So the needs analysis, what are they looking for? This is where all the questions come in, like what's important to them, price or service? Is it? And it's not all alternative close questions. It's the big open questions. What are you looking for when you're deciding to choose a solicitor or a financial advisor or whatever that might well be? You're a coach. That works as well. So there's a whole structure behind that needs analysis piece. This is the part that often gets missed. This is you basically reflecting back on what you think you've got already. You're testing your understanding. Am I right in saying what you're looking for is A, B, C, D? It's almost like a recapping things because the customer might have told you something that you might have missed it. So one, you're clarifying in your mind what you're looking for, but more importantly, the customer could turn around and go, "Oh, wait a minute, I'm also looking for a or somebody to do a." So you're building up that profile about what that customer's looking for. Matching F.A.B.s, a lot of people think F.A.B stands for features and benefits. There's a big difference. It's actually features, advantages, and benefits, and there's a big difference between advantages and benefits. A feature is what something does. So this screw top bottle, it's got a lid. It's not a screw top bottle. This water bottle, it's got a lid. That's the feature. The advantage is you can click it down. That's the advantage, what is. But until you find out, well, for me, what is important to me, that might be, you don't. It means you don't spill the drink. Well, I don't spill drinks. I've not spilled a drink since I was down the Monty in East Kilbride with a couple of pints of Guinness. It's what is relevant to me and what you can take. So the benefit statement tends to start with a bridging statement, which allows you to, which means that it's got a clicky lid, which means that if you're moving about and going up and down or going into the car, you need to sit it down beside you. It's not going to spill over, and that's something that you've picked up from the call. You present your solutions. Well, what I'm able to do for you is A, B, C, D, E. You said you were looking for that. I can tailor my solution to what you're looking for rather than just throw everything at you and hoping something sticks. That's what you call feature dumping. Some will stick, some won't stick. So make sure you're getting them aligned to what the customer's looking for. Closing the sale. I like to think of this is the start of the relationship. Don't just think it's a one-off transaction. So you're closing the sale. A lot of people say, so do you want to go ahead today? I thinking that that's quite a smooth close. That's what you call a direct close, when you're asking the customer if they want to buy. A good way to do it is if you've identified, you want that, I can give you that. You want that, I can give you that. You want that, I can do that. All I need to do is set that up for you. So I just need some basic details from you, which means that it's what I call an assumptive close. You're just assuming what the customer wants, and then you crack on with that. And hopefully the customer is into saying a pattern of saying yes. And without going, well, I didn't say I wanted to buy it. If they're saying yes all along, why would they not? So, yes, assume that they want to buy. All I need to do is gather some bit information. All I need is your bank details. All I need is whatever it might well be. Wrapping up the call, how do you finish the call? I would say maybe go back to that opening conversational offer. Great. Just before we go, can I just say, have a lovely weekend and have a great holiday out in wherever you're going. That's a good way to do it. Set the customer's expectations. What's going to happen next? What are you going to do to follow that up? Are you going to be back in contact? Are you expecting them to send some information to you? And then that's the end of the call. The last step of the 9 is what is A.C.W. And if any of you ever worked in the world of call centres, it stands for after call work. So once you disconnect from that customer, what do you need to do to set up the CRM? What do you need to do to send out to the customer? What do you need to do to pass it on to another department? What do you need to do to pass it through to the sales team or the customer service team? Whatever that might well be. There's just two other. I'd like to say they're steps, but it's rather than coming in at a specific time. All those steps really should go from chronologically from beginning to end. Buying signals can happen any time during the call. Trial closes you could use any time in the call. Buying signals might be, oh, that sounds good. I didn't know you did it like that. I didn't know you were able to do that. Is there much paperwork involved? When can you get this out to me? They're all buying signals. And what you should be using is trial closes. Now, this is not you trying to close the sale. This is what you should be thinking about is that important to you? If I was able to do that, is that something that we could sort out today? So you're dipping your toe in the water. You're not closing the call. You're just asking them if they're still interested. So those can happen right at the start of the call, all the way through to the end of the call. And I'll bring this last one up, and then I'll get wrapped up. And let me just put you guys out of the way. And this one, expect objections all the way out, all the way through the call. It might be right at the beginning of the call. I don't have time to talk to you. I've already got one. I don't need one. All the way through to the end, they might be throwing objections. It might just be a concern that they have, because they might need to take on board what you've said and then go and sell it to their boss or their procurement team. So don't be frightened of objections. It's showing an interest in what you've got to say. If they're just sitting there going, right, okay, thanks, expect them to hang the phone up before you get to closing the sale. If they come up with an objection, handle it as early as possible.